I am with my mom, carrying a big hump of toys inside my arms, coming back after shopping for Christmas with her. I am super excited about these toys and I can't wait to get back home. Until I realize that these toys will probably last about 2 days before I get bored out of them. So out of a sudden I just stop and I fall into a depression and start moving slowly because my body slowly begins to hurt. I don't actually want to continue, bro. I want to come back and buy more toys, but my mom keep encourages me to move forward, and I do. And about 200 meters away from the last place, we decide to take the bus home because it slowly began to snow even stronger. But I just suddenly turn onto my right and I see an older looking house. A house that doesn't look so pretty, but inside the yard of the house, there are few kids, children, around my age, who are literally having a grand time, speaking, laughing, and giggling with each other, probably exchanging jokes and everything. And I just realized that I might not ever have this. They had nothing. They had literally clothes that were probably this thick, clothes that weren't even thick enough for winter. Yet they were happier than me, who had everything he could ever ask for. Maybe you have heard the story about the fisherman. If not, let me tell you so. Once upon a time, there was a fisherman who had a very amazing life and enjoyed fishing a lot. That is why he is a fisherman, bro. So one day he gets his fishing stick and goes out to fish. He gets a huge fish and comes back home super happy. He slaps his wife on the ass and tells him, "Let's go, wife, cook this fish for us." He and his family eat the fish. The next day the same, the next day the same, and basically that's how they survive for a good amount of time. But after some point, the industrial revolution starts. Factories are slowly building up, everything is slowly building up, and the fisherman just looks at them. Oh, these guys, screw them, I don't care about them. He gets his fishing stick and goes on to fish. He fishes for about another month, but the second month he realizes that there is slowly fish actually disappearing. There isn't any more fish inside the lake because this factory over there on the other side of the town is actually polluting the lake right now. So many fish are actually dying. He slowly starts to get concerned about this. And eventually he goes there. And after a whole day, he returns empty-handed. He returns with just few apples that he actually picked up along his way. He gives these few apples to his family just so they can eat. And he doesn't eat himself. But then he's basically forced to go ahead and work in this factory. He is forced to go ahead and work on this factory because otherwise he and his whole family will end up starving to death. So he goes there. He goes to this fat boss that is currently polluting the sea still, and he works for him. He works in this gigantic gray-looking factory, like the place that you will never want to be. Imagine a factory, a gray-looking building that looks like a building from a horror film or something like that, and there is a smoke coming all from it, and you can basically see black stuff being thrown into the sea at the back end of it. And then there is this fat boss inside it that literally yells at you and even splashes you on the ass whenever you don't want to work. He finishes his first day of work. The fat boss drops a few gold coins inside his hand. "Here you go, chump." He goes back. He stops by the store and he buys a fish. The same fish that he could have fished out in the lake back a month ago. He goes on, comes back and lends the fish to his wife. But there is one difference now. He may have gotten the same thing. He may have gotten the same thing out of the factory as well. A fish, right? But there is a difference here. Can you spot the difference? This guy is not happy anymore. This guy has to go through the same abusive relationship between him and his boss every single day. This guy is getting yelled at every single day. This fisherman is literally getting his life slowly but surely ruined. He is getting into depression. He's falling into depression because now his purpose to fish was stripped away from him by time. And now he has to go and work for this great factory over here. A work that he does not enjoy. And come back home with a fish inside his head. That he just goes ahead, here you go, eat. And goes on to sleep. Because tomorrow he has to do the same thing again. And again. And again. For the rest of his life. But imagine if this fisherman was actually smart and started developing plans, started to invest into his education, started getting some sources of knowledge inside his life and actually developed a plan. Maybe that factory would be his. Maybe he could have opened up a whole fish business. Maybe he could have opened up a whole, maybe sea business, maybe a business with boats and everything. But he simply didn't because he was too lazy to go ahead and find knowledge. And at the end of it, somebody else's ambition built this factory, this great factory over here. And thanks to this factory, now he has to work in this great building over here just to get fish for his family that are currently starving inside his home. Part 1. How to be happy then? A good question, bro. A very good question. A question that I always answer with this answer. Find your deepest ambition, bro. Just find your deepest ambition. I am repeating this for so many times inside my videos. Find your ambition. Your ambition basically is, it's so simple, bro. Just write down the things that you actually enjoyed inside your journal. Just open up a blank page and just start journaling about what did I enjoy when I was a kid? What was the most exciting task that I was doing when I was a little kid? When I was a tiny little boy, what was I enjoying doing the most? Ask yourself and answer this. It's that simple, bro. And once you find it, in the beginning it won't be easy, but nothing in life, nothing good in life actually comes through rainbows and sunshines. You actually need to put the time and effort and sacrifice yourself in order to actually achieve what you want inside your life. Otherwise, bro, you can bet for a fact that you will never actually achieve anything that you ever dreamt of inside your life. So in the beginning, it will be hard. That is why I specifically said, if the fisherman just had the power, had the knowledge, had the slight push of discipline to go ahead and read valuable sources of knowledge, he wouldn't be there working in this factory. He would be there working in his own factory, making boats, making fish, and doing what he loves. So do the same thing, bro. Start learning, start reading books, and start reading books specifically about your ambition, and make sure you level it up before it gets overthrown. Because believe me, bro, tides are always changing. Tides are always scraping with each other like this. There is one coming over here, but there is one that will knock it back. But then this one will come back even further, and it will knock back. So the same thing happens with business. The same thing happens with ambition as well. Use your ambition and learn about it. Never stop learning about this thing that God gave you. Never. Just this fish every single day that you bring to your family is not enough. If you bring only one fish every single day, now start bringing 2, then start bringing 3, then 4, then 5, then 6. Then you will have so many fish that you will even have to sell something. Then with that money you can do something about your education. Get education. Invest into your own ambition. And at the end of it, you will find yourself just living the life that you've always wanted. Thanks to your ambition and thanks to learning. Part 2. But I'm afraid that somebody might take over my ambition. Let me tell you one good news today. Simply, if you have a phone, or even if you have a shitty tablet like I do over there, if you have any of those things, if you have a piece of technology inside your hand, which most of the people, even the brokies on the street, it's simply not possible for you if you have the right mindset. Simply the knowledge is at your disposal. You can find free PDFs of books. You can find so many valuable sources of knowledge upon this platform that we call the internet, that we call Google nowadays, that it's simply unreasonable for your business, for your ambition to get overthrown. And this is a thing that was said by MJ DeMarco inside The Millionaire's Fastlane, a book that resonates with me up until this day, the fastlane toward becoming a millionaire. And the most important thing, he said, is reading and constantly changing fuel, changing fuel, quote unquote, changing your own fuel, your own oil, bro. Changing your own oil after every 10,000 miles. And what this oil basically is, it is your own knowledge. While you sit on the toilet, while you just sit there, try to fall asleep in bed at night, open up your tablet, bro, and just start reading. Open up a book and start reading. Open up some valuable source of knowledge and just start educating yourself. Continuously change your oil so it never gets old. Because once it does get old, bro, you know what happens to cars that go with old oil. They will, out of running, they will just go like this. Okay, now they cannot run anymore. They can literally not go anymore. They can just do this, but never move. Never move an inch. So as long as you keep educating yourself, you can even make so much money through this death scroll application that you see so many people scrolling, which is called TikTok. So as long as you have the mindset of a lifelong student, you will never, ever get your ambition overthrown. There are a lot of people with ambitions, but they simply end up doubting themselves. There is a lot of these people, and it might be you as well. You may be doubting yourself that you don't have the knowledge right now, that you need to, I need to go ahead and basically read few books in order to actually start the business. I have to do this first in order to start the business. I have to read this specific book in order to start the business and all of that. You don't need to do crap. You just need to start, bro. Start. Just start and learn along the way. How did you start school, bro? Did you know how to solve arithmetics? Did you know how to solve math? Did you know how your history were told? Did you know about all the subjects? Or did your parents just slapped you, put you inside school and said, learn? And you did learn along the way. You started school and started learning along the way. And why don't you use the same example? Literally, this is the most valuable thing that you learn from school. You started and learned along the way. So do the same thing in every aspect in life. Business, family, anything inside your life, bro. Start it and then learn along the way. Because if you learn, wait for yourself to have the specific knowledge, to read the specific book, to read everything that you need to read, basically you will never start, bro. After every book you finish, there will be another one that you simply must read before you start. So start now and then learn about the thing along the way. That's how every successful business has started. But the reason why I even record this video right now is basically that I see a lot of fishermen nowadays. I see a lot of fishermen doing the same thing as the fishermen, going to this factory, going to the 9-to-5 job, working there, slaving off for 9 to 12 hours every single day for the rest of their lives, just to get few dollars back and buy the fish for their families, buy their ambition. But they don't enjoy working. They don't enjoy working there. They would rather be doing something else and earn this money and food and everything rather than working in this gray, depressing looking factory. Because now at the end of it, if they were working something that they love, they would be here working amazingly. And at the end of it, they would come back after 16 hours of work, feeling super happy, hug their wives, kiss them on the mouth, literally make love with their wives as soon as they meet them on the path of the door, and then go ahead and start kissing his children and all of that, because he simply enjoyed the process. He loved for fulfilling his ambition. You as a man, you are supposed to hold the happiness inside the house. You are supposed to be responsible for how everybody feels. So if you don't feel bad, nobody will. So instead of earning depression, and with this depression buying food and alcohol and cigarettes, and then being the worst version of yourself for your family and children, instead of that, why not follow your ambition, bro? Why not discover what it is today? And why not just go all in on it? Start and then learn along the way.